bring it on.
What's up guys, Nelson here again. So I figured I'll show you guys how to install an HKS EVC5. Just recently bought the boost controller and wanted to install it to my R32 GTR. However, I found that there's not much info on the internet on how to actually fit this. Sat on forums, overseas, local, multiple threads, probably over 30 threads, lots of contradicting information from people, a couple diagrams that are hand drawn, nothing serious. I am going to show you guys a couple diagrams in this video, so stay tuned for that. However, I managed to get it in and it's working. I want to show you guys how I did it. It might not be the best way, I'm not a mechanic, I do this as a hobby. And I just figured I'd show you guys, put it online, see what you guys think. Bear in mind, the red cabling that is in here is not 100%. I should have 6mm cables, or sorry, hoses rather. Right, what we have here is the boost controller solenoid for the HKS EVC5. This I've decided to mount on this side pillar, so left hand side, passenger side. Right, what we have here, this port here, this goes off to your actuators. So what I've done is I have teed a cable off over here. This should be a 6mm hose. It's currently a 4mm, there was no stock, I'm waiting for mine to come through. Before I carry on, there should also be two filters, two 6mm filters, one roughly here, one roughly about here. They say anywhere between 5 and 10 centimeters you need to put a filter in. I'm still waiting for mine, I'm going to redo everything. So, teed off here, these need to go to your actuators. So the actuator, you can see one over here, this one is clearly visible. So where the red pipe is going, that's the one actuator. There's obviously a second actuator which sits right under here. So follow your stock cables, pull those out, plug them. This is what I've done with mine. I've just thrown some bolts on here, so put a bit of tubing, put a bolt on, blocked it off. That's pretty much all that you need to do. On the actuator side, those need to come through, then obviously get teed off to your boost control solenoid. Okay, the middle one is your boost pressure or your boost source. Now this is the tricky one. On a normal turbocharged car, you would generally run your boost source off the nipple on the turbo. However, this does not have nipples in the turbo, so cannot run it off there. You have to find your boost source. Your boost source sits underneath the plenum, right at the back. Now again, excuse the cable or the hose. It is rather long, it's temporary. So if you're going to see it there, that is the last nipple, and I'll show you on the diagram. It's quite tricky to get your hand in here, but once you do, pull out the original pipe. It's actually quite easy to slot this one on. Just put a little bit of silicone on, or any sort of lubricant, get it in there, and that's your boost source. On the boost controller, the other side is your vacuum. You can pull vacuum off the map sensor, or you can pull vacuum off directly at the back of the block here. So what I've done is I've teed here. I've got my little whatever you call this for the boost gauge going into a T-piece, and then that goes back to the boost control solenoid. That's pretty much it. Once that's dialed in, you can customize your boost, give it more, give it less. I had an issue. Check your T-pieces. I had a faulty T-piece from the manufacturer. It was blocked off on the one side. That caused my boost to sit at roughly 1.5 bar. Not fun. Other than that, once you know what you're doing, pretty simple. I'll put a little bit more in the description of how to do it. And have a look at the pictures. Pretty straightforward once you figure it out. Guys, thanks again for watching. As always, like, comment and subscribe. Thanks very much. Guys, one more thing. I actually came into the garage with one thing in mind, and that was to remove the charcoal canister. It pretty much serves no purpose. It's got some sort of emission control thing that was put in 25 years ago. It was not worth keeping. I started pulling it out and I got sidetracked. I have my buddy here, Gareth. He's got a 2011 STR. He came in and we got a little bit sidetracked and we decided to do that on the RB26 Logo. I also sprayed cam covers in the top, so it looks a hell of a lot neater. Charcoal canister will come off pretty soon, plus I have a whole lot of more work to do and I will be posting how-to videos. The next how-to video will be how to set up the HKS EVC5, get it running on the road on a swing type valve. Thanks guys.